Yeah. Family, y'all. Just keep it tight, keep it tight, keep it tight. All right. Yeah, 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 yeah. Here we go, here we go.
Well, I started when I had a dream of wanting to be involved in the church, but what mostly happened, I was involved in, well, with a person with 4 bad habits, very bad habits. And I just kept tired of coming seeing my wife, of a very good person, and telling her, about one of these days I'm going to quit my habits and all that, because I would come in at all times of the hour and all, and being that she wasn't a drinking person or a smoking person, and then I would leave all that fume and all that, especially when I ran a bar and came from there, you just smell all the smoke and drink in my breath and that. And so I kept telling her, I just kind of more or less feel what she was feeling, and I said, someday I'm gonna quit all this here. You're gonna watch. And she said, just pray to God. Your time will come and you'll know when, and you're gonna do it. I know you'll do it. You can do it. I always kind of figured what I need to do is get closer to God and leave all these habits of mine behind and all that. And of course I was in the business with 2 business places. One I was cocktail lounge, and then I had a dance hall. So I still kind of stayed there with some partnerships involved with me. And as I was telling them, they said, you know what? As you're drinking more now, where you drinking? He said, you always wind up at the preaching to everybody, trying to preach to somebody or so. I said, you know what? I wouldn't mind preaching the word of that. He said, but pick the right time and all that. So I was talking to my wife, and I told her, I said, you know what? One day I'm going to go ahead and quit drinking and all this and quit my habits. She said, you will. Day will come, you will. So there was this good friend of Mr. Vasquez, and had prayer meetings and all that. So I said, I want to go prayer meeting. She said, I'll go with you. So she accompanied me to these prayer meetings and everything else. Before I knew it, I was singing out there with my hands all raised up to God and asking for praise and all. Because I asked the Lord, if you would help me, I know I got to do this on my own, but I need a little bit of help. And if you can help me with that little bit of help, just give me that strength. I will serve you an hour, at least an hour or 2, a day or 2 out of the week, to go visit the sick at the hospital, nursing home, wherever that the ministers there would go. And from that night to the next morning, my habits were gone. They were completely gone. So it was Monday, Tuesday, was a day of visitation. So I asked the priest, Monsignor there, I said, I want to go and do that, he said. And he would call me Brother Tuck. He said I was like that monk. He used to come out with Robin Hood. And so he said, get up there and pray for the people. You can pray. He said, you just got to go out there and let them know what they want to hear. But don't let whatever you're saying, let it not only come out of your mouth, but let it come from the heart. So pray to him and pray to God from the heart. And so I kept that and all that. And before I realized it and all, I was on 24/7. Some people will call me at the middle of the night that they have a real sick person at the hospital. So can you come and give him the last rites? I said, well, we don't call it the last rite. We call them the prayers of the sick and all. And so we went over there, and so I started doing that. And before I knew it, I was pretty much hooked. I was working on the altar, and I served the altar as an altar server or whatever position there was on the altar to help. I would get up there and help them. And then the Knights of Columbus there formed a club, and I joined the Knights of Columbus, where I was active with them. And then, of course, I've been with them, 27 years, 25 years. And we had breakfast group going. We had games for the young kids, and then a squad for the younger kids to play ball or whatever. And then we had the lady auxiliary to join us. So we were pretty much involved into that also. And then into the breakfast group as a family, not only the Knights of Columbus, but our family formed a breakfast group also. He went on and on, so and Monsignor Reyes there, he kind of asked me if I would help him on the altar, and I started helping him there at the altar and all. Then I got that, and he said, well, how would you like to join the deacon, the diaconal? So I went to a discernment for 3 years. I was a discernment. All the little towns around here in Austin, that all the little went to those churches over there. Oh, that was so nice to see all the beautiful church. You go in and you could feel, the Holy Spirit just touching you, because it was so pretty, and it was this old, like you see in the movies, Western movie, the beautiful church, a nice church, and then a cemetery on the side. So I started kind of liking that, and I started traveling doing that. And when I was asked by a priest if I go travel with him to go visit some people out of town, because he covered a pretty good area. And I did, and then I started doing that. So then when I went for my discernment and all that, I went, like I said, 3 years. And he just came to the ordination part, and I didn't get ordained. But I still kept it in me. I said, you know what? Because he would tell me, and not only him, a lot of people that I would go see, he said, you know what? You're doing a wonderful job. And what you're doing for God. Because we can feel your presence. And the presence when you come and pray for us or one of our loved ones. So I can tell them, thank you very much. And then I have a video, God, you answered my prayer. Years ago I asked you that I need a little help, and that I would help you for an hour or so. I said, but you kind of kept me on a little longer than what I thought it was going to be. And I would see my friends, and they say, Canica, you're a deacon already? I said, no, I'm not studying all that. I said, God, man, if you can make it, anybody can make it. The way you were with your poor habits and the person I was, But I told him, no, you know what? If you believe in God, or anyone can do it. You got to put your belief in God and stay there and pray to Him. But if anybody needs any help, pray to God and ask Him for that help. God will hear you. And I'd be them now and everything else. So you know what? I don't know if to shake your hand or kiss it. So, but it was a very beautiful thing that I felt myself that was going on in my life and all that, while I was doing all this preaching and praying and all that, doing funeral homes for some people, and then doing chapel services at the cemetery. And of course, it was, like I said, it was a gravesite service, and then a lot of them were coming to also do some the rosary, and then plus go praying for them, and they would have to go bless their homes. So I got pretty much involved in there, and right now, and I love it. I love every bit of it. My involvement in the church, we used to live on 5th Street, and it's Robert Martinez, and I used to be Canadian, right by Cristo Rey Church. And as a matter of fact, our family was always involved in doing some things and all, and we didn't get into the involvement of so much of building the church, but my uncle was a contractor, and the other did. Well, one of my uncles even let them borrow the truck. He borrowed his truck and all. And I had my padrinos from my baptismal. His name was Pedro Lopez, and his wife was named Petra, Lopez. So they were married, and we used to call them Tio Pete and Tia Pete because they were our uncles. And they took me to my baptismal, and they were real active in the church. And so he told me, son, just one thing, stay going to church. He was a padrino, and he's what a lot of us people ask a padrino for their children, because their part is supposed to be making sure if the parents don't get him to church, you do, kind of guide him into there, right? And so he was always involved in there. And so I used to love that, and I used to like my brother. He was funny and everything else. And I kind of had that love in that church. And I would go there, and we'd go because we had doctrinas, which first they would do kind of outside the church, the old church, and then we would start getting, and then when we had the misiones, I used to love to sing, especially the songs of the misiones. And so I would go kind of like that, but as a young child, we grew up to help support the family, because there was 12, my mother had 12 kids. One died at birth and the other one at 16, but before she did it, when we were that young, we used to sell papers and shine shoes, go sweep the bars early in the morning or different places, and just about a little of everything. And we went in a wagon, and there was the oatmeal lumber company that we would go pick up a lot of the scraps and bring them so that ladies could put around the paila, the kettle, because that's how they used to wash the clothes. They put them in that kettle, hot and everything, and they bleach them and wash them and all that. Then they had the lazos where they would hang them all out. So we had to make sure they had enough fire all the time for that. So we used to go bring them. When they were cutting that and throwing the scraps, we'd go bring a bunch of scraps with a wagon. And we would bring it and make sure they had a little stack there for them all the time. So that has kind of kept us away from being too active at that young age, because we had to kind of work, We helped them out, to help the parents out, because too many kids to help feed them and everything. So, but that's how I kind of got started a lot with the church, and I enjoyed it. And then we had a sister. They used to bring us, she used to come and check our health and bring us a basket of food. Sister Falaminia. She was with us, Seton, daughters of Seton, whatever, in the Seton Hospital, and that. And she would come over, and she would always talk to us about God and everything else. And we used to just love when she came on. She was real beautiful, and she spoke so beautiful on top of it. And then we used to like that big old hats that they used to wear back then. So that kept us kind of going. So while I was out there shining shoes downtown, I'd catch the bus, and I would go to Seton Hospital to go see the sister over there at the Seton Hospital. And that's where I used to shine shoes all around then the UT for the students and stuff, so we could make some little extra cash. We charged 5 cents a shoe shine.